Welcome, Kiss Army, to a new exciting look at history from three longtime fans. The show diving into the band and its 50-plus year career of songs, albums, lineup changes, makeup, no makeup, makeup again, products galore, and the events surrounding it. And saying to yourself, of course I like it, it's fun, and it's Kiss, but is it critical to history? Join us as we take on the album today that just so happens to be one of our co-hosts' favorite Kiss album of all time, their second live album, their second alive album from 1977. This is Kiss, this is Alive 2, and this is Critical Kiss, 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 Kiss.
Critical Kiss, tearing up the screen with the legends of rock. We're living the dream. Hard-hitting heads, banging never obscene. Critical Kiss, rock and roll supreme.
Finally, Critical Kiss YouTube channel has hit 200 subscribers. So,
Whoop.
on behalf of myself and the entire crew here, thank you for 200 subscribers. Now, we also just hit 10,000 views on the channel. So, views,
Whoa.
subscribers. We need to get this one up here with this one.
There
So
you
if
go.
you
Yep.
are watching our content, and I know it's not a big ask, but it is kind of a pain in the ask to do it, just hit the subscribe button for us. You only have to do it
Yeah,
once. Easy peasy,
you're already
lemon
watching.
squeezy. And yeah, make sure you like the video. Comment down below. We always do the trivias and all that stuff. Like even if it's just like, hey guys, that's a good enough comment for me if you don't have anything to say about the album we're talking about. And nice or not nice. We also like constructive criticism. If we're doing something that you think we could cut out like this, let us know in the comments. And of course, follow the show on Instagram at Critical Kiss 1 and Facebook Critical Kiss.
I'm Brant from In My Head channel on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, and I make Kiss videos and other videos and stuff like that. And I am getting ready to release a pool video, opening my pool. I've been working on that, and I've also bought a robot to clean my pool, so I'll be doing like a review on that. So there'll be some non-Kiss stuff coming up. And I have a little project that video I've shot and working on editing with Carla concerning the solo albums. I know it's not quite September yet, but you're going to get a little pre-solo album celebration, pre-Phantom type celebration at the beginning of the summer. So we will be able to, we'll be primed to celebrate the solo albums and Phantom at the end of the summer in the fall.
I'm AJ underscore AJRZetro 175 1975 on Instagram, horror, metal, wrestling, all that other good stuff. Kiss fan, 45 plus years. And yeah, we're going to talk about a good one today. You're going to have to probably edit a lot of my ramblings today. So,
And it's Fulci week for you.
it is Fulci Lives Film Week, baby. So come join the fun.
And I'm Tommy at Clairvoyant Audio Files on Instagram. And we just did a new episode. We had so much that we had acquired over the last month because it's been a month since our last episode. We had 17 albums between the two of us
Gee,
that
wow.
we showed off. Yeah.
Wow.
nice.
Crazy.
He had 10, I had 7. And between the two of us, we had 5 Kiss albums. I actually had 3. He had 2. Okay. Because I showed Unmasked, which I'd showed on this show already because the timing of recording was all off. We interweaved them.
Critical moments in history. When it comes to this album to me is, and I'm very biased, extremely biased. So get used to it. To me, this album is. I kind of started with Love Gun last month. That Love Gun kind of was the album that put Kiss at the top of whenever you get on the roller coaster and you're going up the kick, and you get to the very top and you're getting ready to start going through the roller
Mhm.
coaster.
Oh.
That album, this album is the album to me. I think that, in my opinion, and these are all opinions, my opinion, Kiss Alive 2 is the most critical album in the whole catalog. And I know that's a controversial statement because you have the people that like Alive, you have the people that like Alive 2, you have the people that like Alive 3, people that even, like Alive 4, um, even Symphony. But to me, this album is my, even though Destroyer was my first album and kind of my gateway, I still was figuring, I got that in August. I was still trying to figure out who Kiss was. But when this album came out, this is the first album that came out after I became a Kiss fan 2 months later in October. And this is the album and all this merch that continued to come out in 77, 78, 79 that solidified me as a Kiss fan. Um, had it not been for this album, I don't know if I'd still be a Kiss fan to this day. That's how critical it is to me. I think it's the most critical album in packaging. I think it has the best packaging and inserts of all of the original album. It's it's the quintessential album. Could it have been better? Yes, it could have. It could have been better, and it's got the best gatefold. Yeah,
Gatefold, yeah.
I mean, the gate. It's got the most iconic gatefold ever. Um, could it have been better? Yeah, it could have. There could have been things that they could have done in hindsight, and we'll talk about that as we go through the tracks. But I mean, Eddie Kramer, come on, filmed or recorded from a bunch of places, Japan and a bunch of places in the States, with a looped audience, but an audience, no doubt, a live audience, no doubt, um, and some questionable mixing choices, but mm, you know, uh, but to me, it is the most critical album in the most critical time that to me it's the capsule and the nucleus of my history with the Kiss the Kiss Alive 2 double platinum solo albums Dynasty. That right there is like, and the merch around all of that. Uh Stuff that I'll show off in a little bit during the merch section. I actually was not. This is all the stuff that I'm going to show is not all the merch I have from this area. I'm kind of saving some for maybe to show off during double platinum, maybe during the solo albums, but because it was kind of all right there together, really. 77, 78, it was a blur. So and then there was a little bit of a stretch to Dynasty, but yeah, to me, hands down, it's critical that Eddie Kramer produced it. He knows Kiss, and it's critical that the way it came out when it came out. So I'm just gushing all over it, So, and I will be, like I said, but I will say some critical things about it as we get into tracks. But I'll let you guys talk.
You want my history, or what do you want from it? Because I got a lot to say about it too.
However you want to
Say
do
it.
it.
Say
I
it,
mean,
man.
it
Say
it
your
was
history. Say what you think. Just
that
whatever.
was Alive 2 was my first album from what I remember. I've been trying to piece together like my history as like when I found out about Kiss, and I'm I'm gonna try and make it as quick as possible. You can leave it in if you want, or it's up to
You're
you.
good.
But I'm gonna go. I think I finally figured it out. I do remember seeing the Return of Kiss commercial, the Return of Kiss, for the tour. That would have made me 3 years old. and they came here August of '79. I think it was August, which is a month before my fourth birthday. So you guys have kids. You tell me, do your kids remember shit when they were like
Yeah.
3 or 4?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I
I
remember
remember seeing
shit from
that
when I
come
was
on.
3 and 4.
Yeah. Some of my earliest memories are 4, 5, but I've been hit in the head a lot. So
But I remember seeing that, and it took forever to finally one of the videos to see the commercial again. And I remember asking my mom, "Can we go see this Kiss? Can we go see this?" I don't know. Ask your father. I asked my dad, "Dad, can we go see this?" I don't know. Ask your mother. I went back and forth a couple times, and until they just stopped answering me. Then I want to say I saw the 3-2-1 Contact episode, which was probably around that time too. And then I almost positive I saw Alive 2. I keep pointing at the floor. It's on the floor. Alive 2 in the store. I'm like, that's them. Like, I gotta have that album. So when I was a kid, from what I remember, got this album probably around my birthday. Be my guess of
Is that
probably
your original?
no.
Okay.
I got stories with those. But seeing that flipping out, and it was probably my guess would probably be around my fourth or fifth birthday, 79, 80, around there somewhere. I don't know. And then getting the solo albums, Peter and Paul for Christmas, 79, 80. I'm not sure. The dolls, all this shit, probably when all the shit was on clearance. So, and I would have this album and I would play it live, and I had a Viewmaster with a projector. I had dolls at the time. I had the Kiss uh Viewmaster reels.
oh yeah.
I would put my projector in. I would shine them on the wall. I would play Kiss Alive 2, and I would have my Kiss dolls and have a little concert. So
Yeah.
Alive 2, from what I remember, was my very first album, and getting the goodies inside was so fun. And I put the tattoos on right away. Probably
Mhm.
cut up the book, stuck it all on my, and it was all gone. Eventually probably destroyed the record because I was just a little kid. You're not nice with things. You just drop it on the thing and take it off. You don't know,
Right.
But no, not the original. This is the shitty one with just the nothing inside, plain old plastic sleeve. And I remember when I got this, I was excited. I'm like, oh sweet, I get my own, because it was whenever these came out. And I got this. I'm like, oh, cool. I get the tattoos. I get all the shit again, and it was empty. There's nothing in there except these shitty clear plastic things. I'm like, what the hell is this? There's even like a little spot down here where you could see where they blacked out coin management. I think it
Oh
was.
yeah, those are the polygram reissues. Yeah.
Yeah, they marked
Polygram
them.
didn't do Polygram didn't do shit.
No, it's like here, asshole. Here's your stupid record. Like, oh, they're
Yeah.
real flimsy too, to think about it. But yeah, this is a very special album to me, and then later on, I did get the original one with all the stuff. If you want to hear that story real quick, it's up to you guys.
Yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
go
You
for it.
have to
Go
you have to
ahead.
shut me up about this
We
album.
want more from you. Go.
Go, man.
You're gonna have a
Go.
long episode, or we're just gonna
That's
go
fine.
instead of going track by track. We'll just go side one, okay, side two, okay, side three. Well, fast forward to 2018. I'm looking around on YouTube for just Kiss stuff. I just feel nostalgic. I want to see like Kiss collectibles and stuff, and I run across this guy's video. It's all for you, Demon.
Mhm.
Did we ever hear this guy?
No, I
I
never
think
heard
so.
of him.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure the first video I saw by him was when he got the Paul Stanley puzzle, which I had. I'm like, oh sweet. So I follow him on Instagram, and talking a little bit back and forth. He posts something. He posts this poster, of a Gene poster from when he was in high school, of it's the demon with the Gene face as the boots. He's like, oh, I
Yes.
used to have this poster, and memories. I'm like, oh, I have that poster. I'm like, I'm not doing nothing with it. It's rolled up. You want it? It's like, oh yeah, that's really cool. It's like, what do you want for it? I'm like, nothing. Just take it. It's like, I'm not doing nothing with it. It was on my wall for a while, and it's like, I don't have. He's like, oh, let me do something for you. I'm like, no, dude, trust me, nothing. I don't need nothing. I don't want anything. Just we're cool. We're Kiss Army people. He's like, how about he's like, I got an extra set of the tattoos. You want those? I'm like, it's not necessary, but yeah, sure.
You're
You
like,
got.
what? You were like, well.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I'm like, dude, if you want, that's fine. You don't have to, no problem. Okay. He's like, yeah. He's like, you got him. He's like, I'm gonna send him to you. I'm like, cool. A week or two later, I get this package in the mail, and well, he failed to tell me that he was sending me the tattoos, but it was attached to the original album with all the stuff in
Oh
there,
yeah.
Oh, dude,
the
yeah,
book.
yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah,
are you
yeah,
fucking shit me? He's like,
yeah. He did you right.
I'm like, you said you were just sending the tattoos. I put
He,
him in
I
the
did,
book.
I did
Like,
send
yeah,
tattoos.
yeah, he just forgot to tell me that he was going to attach it to the entire original album. So I have
Now,
a
did
shitty,
it? Now,
crappy one.
so you got the tattoos in the book. Did you also get the merch for him?
No, I don't think so. Son of a bitch shafted me.
Asshole. He shafted you out of the merch for
No, no. But
him.
yeah, ever since then, I'm like, dude, I'm like, oh my God, dude, you are too kind. He's like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
no
Rick's
problem.
good.
So,
Rick's good as the gold in the ground, man.
I mean,
He
two
is.
special, unique memories. One, and they're like 40 whatever years apart. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
So,
merch,
like,
merch for him. We'll have to be on
Even
the
the
lookout for a merch.
envelope.
Yeah, we'll have to be on the merch. We'll have to be on the lookout for the merch for him for AJ.
Yes.
oh my God, dude, you are crazy. So yeah, so two separate memories. One when I was 4 or 5, and another one when I was 47. So yeah, I
Yeah, I
definitely
love that book. I love that
I
book. I used to
I,
sit and just stare at that book.
I used
I
to
got to
sit.
get a book. Mine doesn't have the book with it,
I
but I
would
have a
just
merch
stare
for
at it.
him.
I love this segment of the video where we're all pulling out our stuff and
Yeah.
showing it off, and
But
you know.
I would just stare at Gene, and that scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
would
totally.
stare at it because I was liking horror movies at the time. Like that's a horror movie on the
That
back of
was
my album right
It
there.
really
that was
truly
my favorite.
was.
That was my favorite Kiss shirt to wear in high school. Was my Live 2 one.
Oh, there you go.
And it's
That
the
one.
and a
Yeah.
little yeah, yeah, I couldn't find I've got an Alive 2 shirt here somewhere. I think it's downstairs. I got it whenever I got my other Alive 2 off of Kiss Online. Um the cool thing about little tidbit about the photos that's on the back of the album is that Jeans is the only one that was taken during an actual concert. The other two, the other three were taken during sound check.
Oh,
Same
see,
show, same show. It was just check. They're staged live photos, but
yeah.
Jeans was actually live.
Oh, I mean, I love that. That's like one of my
Because he's
top.
all sweaty and got the blood and
Yeah.
everything.
Yep. That's one of my
Makeups.
favorite pictures of Gene, and the one that's in the Phantom book where Gene has just spit the blood and it's just all down his chest. His chest is covered in it, and his tongue still it's dripping off of the end of his tongue. And
Yeah,
I'll show that when we get around to solo album. When we get to Gene and Phantom and stuff, I'll pull my Phantom magazine out and show some of those pictures in there. They're so iconic. But
oh,
yeah, this is one of my favorite pictures of Kiss right here. It's the one that's on the trash can. It's the
yep.
one that's on this shirt.
Hmm.
I mean, that picture, that's what I'm saying about this era is this
That was on the
album.
sleeping bag too, right?
Yeah, it was on the sleeping bag. I think yeah, and so this picture was
And the
used,
towel.
yeah, it was used so many places. And this is like that era. This is the album that like began to solidify that era of Kiss that was so critical that when they reunited, that's that era that they went back to and with costumes. And I think they really wanted to recapture that late 70s feel more than the early 70s feel. They wanted to capture that late 70s feel.
Well, that's from
Anyway,
the Cube sessions, isn't it? From the
Yeah.
dolls, right?
yeah, I think so.
It looks like it in the
The
back there.
cubes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's got to be. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, but I mean, the album is like, oh my God, for me, it's
Yeah.
I got it just at the right time.
And then for me, I mean, I didn't grow up with it like you guys did, like most of these albums, but I remember it was one of the first ones I bought as far as CDs went because like I got Alive 3, Kiss My Ass first. Those were my first Kiss albums. Then I went back and got Revenge. Actually stole that from my dad because I told the story me and my brother fought over it. And but when the remasters came out in 97, that was one of the first ones I got. And I didn't know that when they did the remasters that it was going to come with the tattoos and everything like that. So I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
shit, got the tattoos in it." Like cuz even then, you read stuff and you hear stuff and the most critical part of this album to me is, in a way, this is kind of my introduction to Kiss and my first experience with Kiss because this was the first time my dad saw them. He saw them in December of 77 at Madison Square Garden on the Live 2 tour. So if it weren't for that, I might not have even been a Kiss fan. So by the Kiss family tree, this is kind of why it's pretty special to me as well because I remember listening to it the first time. I was like, man, I can't believe my dad saw like this show, kind of. And yeah, that's still what I think about when I hear it today. And even
I'm so
just
jealous of people that were old enough to go to this show. I was 8. I would have been around 8 or so when it was recorded,
yeah,
and I
he
didn't get to see
was
Kiss. I didn't see Kiss the first time
13.
until '79. Um, with Dynasty when I was 10.
I'm
But
jealous of
I'm
that.
so jealous that I wasn't old enough to be a fan to go to these shows.
Think
Going
how
back
I
to
feel. I wasn't
yeah.
even old enough to see him without makeup.
Well, I didn't see him till '96, so that's the first time I
Yeah.
ever saw him.
And I was still, I guess, too young for that. So I didn't see him till 2000. But it was knocking at 96, 97, and then Psycho Circus. And then I'm like, okay, I got to see this. And then it says
Yeah.
Farewell Tour. I'm like, this is the last chance.
Yep. And
So,
little did you know, you get about 30 years later.
yeah.
But
Who
that,
knew? Who knew in 2000 even? I'm 12. It was 3 weeks before my 13th birthday. That was my gift from my mom. Was taking me
mm,
to Kiss. Who knew then 17 years later, I'd be taking my kids to see him, and
no, that's
all of us wearing
awesome.
makeup, you know? So
That
pretty crazy.
that merch form, does it have the little Kiss logo chain for sale on there? Or was that on the solo album ones? Because
No, it has it right here.
yeah, I had that. It may even still be at my mom's house. I doubt it, but I had it for the longest time. So she probably ordered from that merch form then that thing. I
So
had
so
that.
so from this merch form, I had all 4 of these posters.
Oh, that Ace one.
They're huge. I had this yellow Kiss Alive 2 shirt.
Oh, the
I
radio.
What
had
was the
I
deal
had
with the yellow shirts in the 70s? I've never heard anybody answer that question, but I've always had it.
I
Was
had and
yellow
I
just an
have
undesirable color, so they had to do it?
Yeah, right.
I had and I have the tour book. There's
Oh,
two types
Which
of tour
I'm
books, and
jealous of.
there's 2 types of tour books, and I knew it, but I didn't mention it in my last video that I showed, where I showed my tour book, and I'll show it again in a little bit. There's 2 types. There's one that in the back it says Alive, which that was given out at concerts, and then there's one that says Alive 2. It says Alive 2, and then there at the very, and I'll show you in the book. And then there's one that says Alive 2 and Double Platinum. Like it says Alive 2 Double Platinum. Those were the ones that you could only get by ordering. And they would have came out
Ah.
later. Like so if you would have ordered out of this and not got it from the show, if you'd have ordered it from the merch form, you'd have had one that said Alive 2 Double Platinum. And I had this poster here, the big, huge live poster. Trying to find
oh
right
man.
there.
Yeah.
Had that one, and that one's a good size. And then I had the Kiss radio, but I didn't get the Kiss radio from the merch form. I got the Kiss radio from like Sears or
I had I had the radio. I don't know if I got it from there, but that poster of the Alive, I have one, but I don't know if it's original or reprint. But it's not. Is it not the exact? It's different from the gatefold, though, right?
yeah, it doesn't have all the photoshopped in extra flames and stuff.
That's it. Yeah, because I have
Yeah,
something like that, but I don't know if it's
it just
original or
so you don't see all the extra flames
okay.
and everything there.
Yeah,
But there would be some flames like right in here somewhere.
I'd have to look it up. I'd have to break it out. Once I find it, I don't know where the hell it's at. But so you're telling me this gatefold is fake too?
Well, they added in some extra flames.
Son of a bitch!
They added some extra flames in. Kiss. They always have to do things over the top.
I had no idea. I learn something new every day, so I'm going to throw these both out now.
I don't want it.
I feel cheated.
Sons
All
of
right,
bitches
good.
done it to me again.
We want to get into tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we don't have to do real deep on them. I'm not going to go very deep.
No.
I'm exhausted.
So the opener, Detroit Rock City, the best opening. That whole, you want the best and you've got
Yeah.
the best, the hottest band in the world, and
Kiss.
then Gene comes in and overdubs Kiss with the big huge. Because if you go and you watch like the Lost Alive, it's not it's you want the best, you got the best, the hottest band in the world, Kiss. It's like
Kiss.
it's not the girls.
Yeah, I love that.
And,
Oh, that's fake too? What the fuck?
Gene overdubbed in the Kiss
Oh,
with
see?
the
I could tell it was a little extra, but I didn't know it was Gene. So
yeah. I always, when I was a kid, I didn't know that he was saying, because I didn't know it was you want the best and you've got the best. I thought he was saying something like, you've thought of us and you've thought of us. The hottest band in the world, Kiss.
I kind of like that.
You've thought of us and you've thought of us. Detroit Rock City, to me, this is the quintessential version of Detroit Rock City and the second song behind it, King of the Nighttime World.
Yes,
Best versions of those songs. I tell you what, you talked about doing sides. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's go through each person go through the side.
Okay.
Okay.
Ladies' Room. I love Paul's banter on this, and which a lot of it was also re-recorded after the fact.
Son of
And
a-
we got some good-looking girls, and some of you girls want to get yourself kissed.
Kiss.
Get into the ladies' room. And then Paul starts off, and Gene comes in, and he's got that. He sings the way I like. Every time it's
Every time it's the same.
Wanna be the face. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're one need.
You sure you like to dance?
Another one. It's like it's all right on the studio album, but it's a lot of fun in the live
Yeah.
album.
Yeah. And I used to think, hey, he said you're such a jewel in the road, not a jewel in the rough.
That's what I thought
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it does sound like road.
Such a jewel in the road. And then if I know I say Detroit Rock City is my favorite song, but my second, probably one of my second or third favorite song, and it is this version, is Making Love.
Yeah.
Making Love on this album is badass.
Yep.
I've said this before in many videos. After that first time that they go through the chorus and they have that little breakdown all night long, and then they all jump in. That to me is like one of the best moments in Kiss history, like ever, because they're just all so tight, and they're just on it. and don't you want to speed, man? You get a speeding ticket listening to that song in your car. And then Love Gun. I love this version of Love Gun. I'm not the biggest fan of Love Gun, but
Oh,
I love that version of Love
All
Gun.
right,
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Love Gun. And I love that Peter at the end of it, he does the fast triplets, the and then
wow.
woo! Paul gives that little scream at the end. I mean, it's like one of the best first sides of
Oh
any
yeah,
album.
yeah.
I'm telling you, I need a break. It's
I just need a
need a break.
cigarette.
some of us might like to taste the alcohol.
Well, even in
Uh,
making love, that just the feedback in the beginning before they start the song. Like, as a
yeah,
kid, I'm listening to that. I'm like, what is this song? This song's awesome.
yeah.
Even before Love Gun
And I
became my favorite.
and I love
Making love on this song.
there's a lot of feedback in this album, and they left it
Yeah,
in.
I like it.
I love it that they left in that. And
In Detroit Rock City, they have that feedback, and yeah, it's part of it's
Mhm.
all part of it, man. It is a great opening side. It is. I mean, fuck.
Yeah,
You're all
I
revved
mean,
up, man.
there's not. I mean, that is a knock out of the park
Yeah.
first side. I mean, there's
First side
nothing.
is like gets, and two kind of like it doesn't go. I want to say it goes down, but it kind of levels out a little bit, and
Yeah.
then you get back into it. So yeah, fucking hey, first
Um.
side, fun.
So, Tommy, you got anything about that first side?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it before. I've always said if they're going to open with Detroit City, which they didn't on this tour, they opened with I Stole Your Love. But if they're going to open with Detroit City, the second song's got to be King of the Nighttime World because that
Always.
feedback
Hmm.
going into
Hmm.
Yep.
da 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 doo, 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 doo,
Hmm.
doo, 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 ba, ba. Yeah. And Ladies Room, dude,
Yep.
I don't care if it's studio or live. I think Ladies Room is one of the more underrated Kiss songs. It
Yes.
doesn't get the love it deserves. It's a cool song.
Live.
It's a party song.
Yep.
Making
Beepers.
love. I mean, that's Kiss to a T, like we always say. Give me the double entendre and the innuendo, but I mean that's pretty in your face what that's about. And then of course my favorite Kiss song and my favorite song of all time, Love Gun, closing out the side. It's gonna be hard for any of these to be the most critical side when we get to that part of the show. Just
Oh
gonna say
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I agree
because
too.
honestly, the album could end with 5 songs and I'm good. But I'm glad it didn't.
Second side, calling Doctor Love. I mean, you calling Doctor Love and
So
and then Christine 16 just right together. Uh,
the way God intended it.
Yeah.
it's
God of Thunder,
um,
that is.
yeah. We're gonna call out Doctor Love.
Good stuff. Yeah.
It's awesome. And then Christine 16. That's awesome. And then we got a little surprise for you tonight. Get your blue Kool-Aid out.
We gotta turn the microphone
Turn the
over
microphone
to
over to
Ace Frehley.
Yeah.
Shout me.
That just brings the party right back up.
Yeah, it's awesome. Awesome.
But then they ended with two what were those were just practice ones, right? Is that what
Yeah,
it was?
yeah. The Hard Luck Woman, it was not actually done on tour. And Tomorrow and Tonight, those were both recorded during sound check at the same Capitol Theater where they recorded um, side 5 or side 4. Um, this is where I'm like, okay, back before I knew any better, like when I was a kid, I like Hard Luck Woman. I think it kind of, after Shock Me, it kind of brings it down a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I love the sound and I love the way Peter's voice sounds on it, the way the drums sound on it. the way
Yeah.
the bass
Bum,
guitar,
bum, 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 bum.
and then Tomorrow and Tonight. That's a party song, and it sounds great on here. Everybody's high when the weekend's through. Uh, Listening to the teacher, bosses, and the preacher. Ain't never done nobody good. I mean, I love the "Are you happy, baby? I've been waiting." I like that little Paul sings and answers himself, and if you listen real closely, Paul sings back up to himself
Well,
quite a lot.
yeah.
Who did
And
that was possible?
he
Yeah.
did on the first album too. So um, but I now that we're older, it's like I would have rather instead of Hard Luck Woman and Tomorrow and Tonight, I would have rather had Take Me and Hooligan.
Yeah. Right.
On the misprints, which I'm looking out for. Someday I will find a misprint, but I wish they would have done Take Me because they sung it live, and I wish they would have done Hooligan. They would have could have replaced Hard Luck Woman with Hooligan, and they were still trying to push Hard Luck Woman at this time to be, because it did win them like I didn't Hard Luck Woman win them something. I know
It
Beth did, but I don't know if
it
Hard Luck Woman
charted
won them
very
something.
well. I know
Yeah,
that. It was, I want to say it hit like 13 or something like that on Billboard,
yeah.
but I don't know if
So,
it won him an award or not.
and I think that the reason why that they put that on there was because Hooligan wasn't what they wanted to be permanently etched in history on the live album. I think they don't felt like it was good enough to sing on tour, but not good enough to put on the album. So they replaced it with Hard Luck Woman. And I personally would have liked to had Hooligan on here. It would have been more true to the. It would have been a more true encapsulation
Right.
of what they were doing. Even though they left off all the songs that they put on the previous album. I've always been set on the fence about that decision. It's like I get it. It's like, man, here's Deuce again.
Yeah.
Here's Rock and Roll Over again. So I understand that decision of them including just songs that wasn't on a live, that was on the three albums that they were trying to promote also with this album. Because what did we do? What I did with this album was I had Destroyer. I hadn't even heard any of the songs off of the first three albums when I got this. I knew Destroyer, so I knew the Destroyer songs on here. And then when I heard this album, I'm like, I got to get where these other songs come from? Oh, they come from Love Gun and Rock and Roll Over. What's the next two albums I bought? Love Gun and Rock and Roll Over.
Yeah.
And then I finally heard maybe sometime around the time of Double Platinum, I heard Alive, and I was like, oh, here's a whole bunch of songs I've never heard before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I got to go find what albums these are on. And I remember in the beginning, I wasn't too big of a fan of the first three albums because the sound between the first three albums and the second three albums was different.
Hmm.
It changed with Ezrin. The Kiss became a different band, and we kind of talked about that in previous episodes.
Mhm.
But I think I would have definitely had Take Me over Tomorrow and Tonight, and I would have liked Hooligan over Hard Luck Woman. And Tomorrow and Tonight, they were just trying to put another party song on. That was their song that they tried to. They were constantly trying to recreate Rock and Roll All Night. Uh, that's so they kind of did that with Shout It Out Loud. They tried to do that with Tomorrow and Tonight. So, and I mean, there will never be another Rock and Roll All Night. So,
Right.
but I think if I had to pick between, even though, and God, it's got shocked me on it.
Right.
It's got shocked me on it. So if you just tell me, okay, pick between side A and side B, I'd have to go with side A, even though I
Yeah.
love Shock Me. It's, um, side A has Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World, and that's okay with me. Ladies Room, okay with me. It's got Making Love on it. So just the fact that it's got two juggernaut songs that I love, I'd have to pick it over side two. Your side two,
Well, I
highlights,
mean,
valleys, hills, valleys.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, I'm with you on that. I do appreciate the fact that they didn't put any of the songs from the first one there. I see what they were doing, but once again, in typical Kiss fashion, it's like, why did you do that? like you were saying, instead of doing Take Me and Hooligan, why would you pick two songs you didn't even play live and put those on there? I mean, they're good, they're fun, but it's like you kind of, damn it, you did it again, Kiss. It's like, you
Well, and
know?
Hard Luck Woman was played like the first few shows, and
Hmm.
then they
Okay,
dropped it. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but it wasn't technically on
Right.
this list,
Yeah, it
right?
was
Right.
immortalized on an album, and I don't think Take Me and Hooligan was played very much either. I think
Yeah.
those were songs that they kind of dropped too,
Yeah.
somewhere along the line. I don't know the count of what they were played on that tour,
Mm.
but
I mean,
um,
like I said, they could have been like, "What the hell? We're gonna put the same songs on the and not have four studio tracks at the end and then take it or leave it." But they did try a little different, something a little different, but it was just a little weird the choosing of those two songs on side two. But my stronger side right now, yeah, 100% is side one. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you guys on side A being out of the two. Yeah, Calling Dr. Love, that's it's probably between that and the next album we're gonna do Double Platinum, was my favorite versions. Christine 16, always one of my favorites, especially live. I think it's a little fun, and Gene never seems to get the first line right. Um, Shock Me, of course, and Ace sounds so fucking cool on this.
Hmm.
Like his voice just sounds so cool, and it's cool on the album too. But something about him live and this time is different. Hard Luck Woman, I like the song, but yeah, I'm kind of with you because like we talked about on the Love Gun episode, Hooligan live, watching it, like I talked about when he that opening drum fill and the drums look like they're shaking. Like they could have done something with that on this that just kind of like brings it to the next level instead of bringing it down. Like
Hmm.
we know we're already going to put Beth on it. Why do
Right.
we need another slow song? And Tomorrow
right,
Tonight, I like this version better than the studio version. So
yes,
yeah, but yeah, I'm with you guys. Side one, side A, whatever you want to call it. Definitely the one on
Yeah.
the first LP.
All right. All right. And then side three. Um, yeah, we start with I Stole Your Love, which is awesome. Um, and I love I Stole Your Love on this album.
oh man,
It captures the essence of that song and the it feels alive on this album, you know, more so than on the studio. And then you have Beth. I love this version of Beth. This is actually one of the songs that was recorded in Tokyo. If you go and you watch the Lost Alive, which was from Tokyo, and you can hear the crowd, you listen to the crowd, it sounds just like you hear like little nuances in the crowd that if you then go and listen to this, you hear those same nuances. Peter's voice is different, of course, because they re-recorded his vocals. Not entirely, though. I think they just fixed some of his things. But this is like every track that we've listened to so far, except for Hard Luck Woman Tomorrow Tonight. Those are all recorded um, at the Forum on August 26th through 28th. And then these tracks, Beth and I Want You, was recorded at Budokan Hall in Tokyo on April 2nd, 1977, just 12 days before my eighth birthday. Um, so I love Beth. God of Thunder. I love this version of God of Thunder better than the studio
yeah,
album
oh, yeah,
version. It has a little bit more pep to it. It moves along a little better, and Gene just sounds so freaking awesome in it. And then Peter has his drum solo, which they cut down just enough to make it to where it stays
It's
entertaining.
just right.
yes,
Yep.
right, yep,
Just right. I think that he did less on this one than he did on the first one. And also kind of feel like the first one is a little too long.
Mhm.
And so I think on this one, they're like, okay, we're going to trim it down. And because there's this one part on there, he's just like wailing on the snare with a flanger going, "Da-da-da-da-da-da-da," and it goes,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
but I love that where he does that, starts speeding up like a train. And I always thought it kind of reminded me of a train. And I remember playing along to it. This is an album I didn't mention it earlier with my history of this album. This is that like Kiss has made me who wanted to start playing drums. Peter Criss is who I used to like. He was my original idol as far as when it comes to drumming. And this album, the live album, was I cut my chops on this album, like playing along to it and just
Yeah.
learning to play along to it. So there's so much of my drumming technique to this day is still inside of me from this album. Uh, and then I Want You, I love how they bring it down. I Want You is recorded it in it's live, but it was recorded in Tokyo, of course. And I like that Paul gets his banner in, but he don't. But once again, they don't take it too long,
Yeah.
and I
It's not
love
a
when
hundred
he's
thousand years.
yeah, it's not 100,000 years. It's like they learned from, okay, Paul's
Yeah.
going to get some banter, but we're going to cut it down. Ace is going to get a solo, but we're going to cut it down because Ace's solo was cut down. You go watch the Lost
Yeah.
Alive too. His solo is a lot longer, but a lot of times it's just him staggering around on the stage going, "Arr, arr,
Yeah.
arr, arr,
Yeah.
arr, arr," so they like cut it down. They cut off a lot of the fat and just cut
Yep.
to it's like the filet mignon. It's
Yep.
that petite
Just enough.
sirloin, and they learned. They did that with they did that with uh Paul's banner, with Ace's solo, with Peter's solo, and then you go in to Shout It Out Loud. And I mean, I think it's the perfect album to it's the perfect song to close the album. I think
Right.
that's I mean, you people want a little bit of rock and roll. And I think it's great on here. It's great on here, better than it is on Destroyer. And so, yeah, I think Alive. I think side three's a good solid side.
AJ?
Agreed. Agreed. Great
Agreed.
opening track. Great opening track to side three and great opening track to the original album. Beth is great. God of Thunder. They even kept the clunker in there a little bit.
Oh,
he went up, he went all Barney from The Simpsons.
Don't cry for me. I'm already dead.
I'm surprised they kept it in. But yeah, that's good though. I Want You. That when the beginning of how he Paul just blowing his voice out for
Yeah, yeah.
why
Is
he can't do it no more.
yeah,
And shout it out loud. Yeah, it was a perfect ending. I mean, I always thought, like I think I've said it before, if they would have switched between shout it out loud and rock and roll all night anytime for a closer, during their whole career, it would have been fine with me. You
yeah.
know. So, but they found the one and stuck with it. So, but yeah, good side. Stronger than side two, but not as strong as side one for me.
Yeah.
Breaking it down. Yeah, I'm with
Mhm.
you. I Saw Your Love, the actual tour opener. Great.
Yep. Yep.
It's
Yep.
like you start the second LP and it's like you're starting a new concert almost, even though it's
Hmm.
only going to be one side of live tracks. But yeah, I mean it would have been awesome to have it open, but Detroit City into King of the Nighttime World, beautiful.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Um,
Wasn't Detroit Rock City like it was one of the encores, wasn't it? It was
yeah,
actually towards the end of the concert.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Black Diamond ended the shows. Then
Black Diamond ended the shows.
Rock and Roll Night was the end of the main set, and
Hmm.
then they did Shout It Out Loud to Truck City and
Black Diamond.
Black Diamond. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and Beth, it's a good version. It's a quick song, but it's also one they've got to play, especially at this time.
They cut out
God
the
of Thunder.
instrumental.
Yeah, God of Thunder's great. That part where, after the drum solo and it kicks back in, and then we get the that
Oh,
that's
mama!
that's the most memorable part of this version, but it's awesome. It's got a
I
little
think
bit
they
more
even
warmth
blow
on it.
like blow the notes like they're like he's
Yeah.
playing the wrong notes on the bass. It's like they totally. It's like you just like envision them running back. Gene's running back out on the stage.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, this one definitely feels more live than a live one.
Yeah,
Um, and then I Want You, always fun. Like I said when we covered Rock and Roll Over, I didn't really care for the song when I was a teenager, but now I love it. Um, and and Shout It Out Loud. It's a good quick version to end it. I don't think it's the best version ever. I give that to the Greatest Kiss, the Tiger Stadium one. I think
yeah,
that's the best version, and you pair it with the video, and it's awesome. But I mean, this one isn't a slouch by any means. It's still a good version
right.
of the song. But yeah, good. But I still give the edge to side A, side one, even though there's a couple of bangers on here.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah. I agree, but I still have to give side one the edge on that.
Yep.
And then side four, the studio version, the studio songs. Um, So on the studio songs, Peter Criss plays drums on all the songs. Anton Fig has said multiple times, people, that it wasn't him. Stop saying it was
People!
Anton Fig. Give Peter some credit.
He
Um,
wasn't he wasn't completely checked out just yet.
and and get and oh, Peter Criss got that bottom sound. You apparently don't know anything about recording or engineering. That's all
It
on the
sounds
engineer.
just like Love Gun.
Yeah, that's all on the engineer and all that would be on Corky and on Eddie Kramer to make the drum sound that way. Um, it's basically side four is Peter on all the drums. Rocket Ride is basically Ace and Peter. Ace did the bass on Rocket Ride and all the guitars, kind of like a precursor to
The
his
best song.
solo. And then the other songs, All American Man, Rockin' in USA, Larger Than Life, and Any Way You Want It, had uh, Gene and Paul on it, and then those songs had Bob Kulick in place of Ace because Ace didn't perform on all those songs. So it's kind of the beginning of what would become kind of like Dynasty, in a way. Um, but so All American Man, I think I remember loving whenever I didn't know these songs. Like I said,
Yeah.
the only songs I knew was on Destroyer. And so whenever I was listening to this for the first time, I was not expecting these to be studio versions. And when I found out they were studio versions, um, I remember I obsessed over these songs. I love All American Man. Think it's great. Rockin' in the USA is good, but it's not the Better Gene song. The Better
It's
Gene
very
song,
kissing time.
it's very kissing time. But
Yeah.
Larger Than Life is so stinking good. And but it ain't no Rocket Ride. Rocket Ride is once again that long intro. Lady Space, do you like the way? It's it's it was Ace saying, okay, this is what the rest of my solo album's going to sound like because Rocket
Yeah.
Ride could have been on his solo album.
Could have been on
And
Love
he
Gun
actually
too.
Yeah, he was actually wanting to save it for his solo album, but they're like, listen, you got to put a song on here. We got 5 songs here. And what's funny is you notice Peter don't have a song.
Yep.
In my opinion, and then you have Any Way You Want It, which I used to not be a big fan of Any Way You Want It. It's a freaking cover song. What is it with Paul and
Right.
the cover songs? But this is one of the cover songs I actually don't really mind. I
Yeah.
like the It's All Right, It's All Right, It's All Right, It's All Right. Paul singing back up to himself again. Um, but why not replace that with a Peter song? Why
Right.
not? why couldn't they have given Peter a song to put there? Because you would have had a little mini like an EP of a song from every member of the band.
Yeah.
Because you had Ace on there, so there should have been another Peter song on there. And I guess they figured, well, Peter already had two songs on the entire album as an entirety with Hard Luck Woman and Beth. So I get it, but these are four brand new, and they hyped it as that. It includes four brand new tracks or whatever.
Hmm.
So, um, but I still think one of the things I would have changed is let's try to put a song on there for Peter. Try to put a rocker, not a slow song.
Let's
And
take out
and
Rockin' in the USA.
would you have took out Rockin' in the USA, or you
I,
took out any way you want it?
I actually like Any Way You Want It better than Rockin' in the USA.
Yeah, I think so too. I think if you'd have cut a Gene song and just had Gene appear on Larger Than Life, have All American Man, and then Larger Than Life, and then Rocket Ride, and then a Peter song, and then Any Way You Want It. I think that would have been a better side five. It still would have been better than side one or side four. It still
Rock,
would have been better than
rock,
side one.
Rockin' in the USA isn't just kissing time, it's also harder rock and roll. Like,
Yeah,
why do we gotta do songs where we name a bunch of different cities? Like,
right,
it'd be cool if they actually did it
right,
live and they were
right.
in that city and they said, oh, St. Louis,
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah, but then he pissed England off because he said, I've been to England too. There wasn't much to do. I mean, that's like it's like, okay, Gene. Yeah. Piss off the Europeans now.
I remember being confused as a kid. I'm like, what happened to the audience? Like, how come I don't hear any people anymore? You know,
Yeah.
They
when I listen
left.
to side four, I
It
do.
still throws me off when I listen to it and I flip it over and I'm like, I thought I was listening to it live. What
I
the
mean,
hell?
I do like the production on it though, because it does sound really. It's probably the best sounding one to me. Then yeah, probably next to Rock and Roll Over.
Oh,
It,
I think hands down the production on
it sounds really good.
I think that they finally got their sound right on side four.
I
Like
mean,
that is the way they should have sounded.
yeah. I mean, it
Like,
sounds very clear, but
but
clean, but very
the
heavy
guitars
too.
are crunchy and edgy.
Yeah,
The drums are
the
Yeah.
drums are
huge.
thunderous. Yeah,
Yeah, thunderous drums, almost like approaching Creatures drums,
yeah,
but
yeah.
not quite. You
Hmm.
know, it's in a smaller
They got
airplane.
it. They got it great with Rock and Roll Over, almost there with Love Gun, and then here, yeah,
It
Yeah,
it's
went back. Yeah. So, like
yeah.
I said before, the Love Gun thing throws me off when I hear acoustic guitars louder than the electric guitars. I'm like, what
Right.
the fuck you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, they might have took a like I said, they had some mixing and engineering choices and
Right.
even some recording choice. I mean, if you're going to record the acoustic guitar, set them back, set it, and you want it in there to glisten and fill in some
Yeah.
cracks, set it
Sure.
behind the electric,
Yeah.
not like bling bling.
With the electric at 5, put the acoustic like 3.5.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I like all the songs, but once again, any way you want it, I could have done what I could have done personally without, because I would have rather had another original, like you said, Peter or something else. But I like All American Man. I always like that, whatever he's saying.
Mhm.
6 foot
What do you think?
hot, look,
What?
A
all
6 foot, a
American
six
man.
foot hot look.
Hot look?
Yeah,
I don't know if
Yeah,
it's hot loving or hot lust or hot
six
hot
foot hot look,
hot
all
loaf.
American man.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I like Rockin' in the USA. It's a good travel song, I think. Like if you're driving somewhere, crank that up,
all right.
you're in your car,
We'll
large in
keep
life.
it.
Large in life is badass, Rocket Ride is badass. Any way you want it, like I said, it's all right. It just when it ends, it's just very non like what's the word I'm looking for? It just doesn't end like
Uneventful.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just kind of like bring, bring. Like, oh, okay, just kind of petered out at the end there. So
Hey, got Peter in there.
very anticlimactic. That's what I'm looking
Yeah,
for.
there we
Yeah,
go.
I would have rather had something with like a good like here's what you got. We're coming back with some heavier, cooler shit.
Yeah.
With a
Fuck
Yeah, because it does do that. It's like it ends the album going, "That's the way it will be." Ba, 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 on that weird note. It's like,
yeah, Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with
Yeah,
you
I
on
wanted
that
a
one.
little more like something.
Although at least it had an ending and didn't just fade out.
Yeah.
I'm not a
True.
fan of a fade out on a last track.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone
Yeah.
loved to fade out back, and they didn't know what
Yeah.
the hell to do when it played live.
Yeah. Like, oh, we'll just keep going. Da 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 doom, da da dum, da da dum, da da dum, da 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 da
Right.
da da. Gong.
But
That's how you know it's over.
Yeah.
it's a good side. I probably would actually appreciate it a little bit more than side two. Yeah.
I
I
would
mean,
probably, if I was going to do my tracks, my sides, I'd probably say side one, side two, side four, side three.
hmm,
That'd probably
Wow.
be how that'd probably be how I would
I'd go 1, 3, 4, 2.
you'd go
I'm with
one
you on that one.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
though
one, three,
Shock
four,
Me,
two.
I wish they would put Shock Me. It'd be a lot easier if Shock Me was on another side, but nothing
Yeah.
against that. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
the
how.
first three songs on tour, awesome. And
Yeah.
then yeah, you can I don't know, maybe it's because we know their sound check recordings now.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, because back in the day, I you didn't know. You
Yeah.
thought they were live. And like I said, it's like I loved those songs and I was like, man, these belong on the album. Then when I got older and found out that they were sound check songs and that, there were two other songs that they could have put in their place that wasn't on the original live album. I'm like, man, why'd they put those? Man, that's some bullshit.
Can always tell too when it's like people are just screaming like all the way through the song. It's like I don't think that's all the way live. If someone's
Do
ah,
do we want to even attempt most critical, least critical song?
Mm,
well,
I
there's
mean,
plenty. Hmm.
I mean, me personally, if I had to say most critical, I would have to go 1, 2. Because I feel like those are just one. It's like a conglomerate. You got to
Oh,
put those together.
Detroit and King.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't just say Detroit City because then you're leaving out the feedback and all that. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I would say those two together as one, not to be confused with Take Me Away together as one.
that's good as one.
You would
Another good
confuse
song.
those.
Ugh.
Another good song. Uh-oh, uh-oh. A little bit of
Uh-oh.
little precursor to solo albums. It's gonna be interesting. When I say good song, ugh.
But
Screw
I think
you,
that's
AJ.
least critical as far as like the live ones, or quote unquote live, I would say Hard Luck Woman.
yeah. I'd have
Yeah,
to agree
yeah,
with
I
those.
agree on that.
Yeah.
I give Tomorrow and Tonight, even though I like Hard Luck Woman as a song better, the live version, I'll give it to Tomorrow and Tonight
Yeah,
slightly. But as far as like the studio tracks, most critical Rocket Ride,
Okay, right.
hmm,
least critical any way you want it because it's a cover.
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree
yeah,
with you on all those.
yeah.
I
I agree.
I wish they would do the Detroit Rock City King of the Nighttime World combo a lot more
Yeah.
often. You
Yeah,
know, that's what you're waiting
Maybe
for.
maybe we'll get it in Vegas. That'd be pretty sweet.
Like what the two Zeppelin songs, the two Journey songs. You know which ones
Yeah,
they got to
and
go together.
Queen, you get We Will Rock
And
You into We
Queen,
Are the
yeah.
Champions.
Sometimes I'll have all those songs on like a playlist and just hit shuffle. I'm like, oh, here comes
Yeah, and then it doesn't happen.
we're
You're
the
like,
champions. It's like some other song. I'm like, oh fuck, that was a big prick tease right there.
yeah,
Like,
stop edging me.
yeah, Heartbreaker and Led Zeppelin. The Led
Yeah,
Zeppelin got this too.
live and love and made. Yeah,
And
heartbreaker.
yeah,
Yeah, you when you listening to a radio station, it's like heartbreaker, heartbreaker, heart, and then the next song comes on. It's there, and you're like, nah,
what the
it's
hell
supposed to
is
be
this?
with a papa.
Right,
It's like
exactly.
da da
yeah.
da 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 da.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
another song that you hear that done a lot is the Green Day song, the dun it, dun it,
Oh yeah,
dun it, dun it, dun it, dun it, and then it ends, and it's like dun 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 dun. It
It's
goes into
supposed to go
that
into Brain Stew is the
brain
fast
stew.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
basket
You
case
know,
and brain stew.
it
Yeah,
just fade,
you
then it's like fade, like just it just kind of fades out or something.
yeah when you'll hear the dun dun dun, it stops and it goes on the
Like,
next another
here it
another
comes.
song, and you're like,
Yeah.
come on,
No,
man.
it's not. Play it. You got 2 minutes to play it.
It's not that long
Well,
of a
well,
song, man. Play it.
Right.
welcome back, everybody, to Dookie, a Green Day podcast.
All right, so merch. I got a few things to show. So we've kind of been showing the album. This is it's not my original, but this is a original press. It's got the let me see the type of albums in here. They look like this. Um, look like that. And it's got the dust sleeve that's got the album and the merch form, which we looked at already, and then the book and the tattoos. We've showed a lot of this off already.
Yeah.
Tattoos here.
Yep. Oh, those went right on my arm instantly.
I need to do a video one day where I just buy another set of these and like put them on my arm and like put one on my face.
Or
But
you can get a real. How about you get a real tattoo of the tattoos?
I've actually seen people that had
They
that
had
had
to, right?
tattoos of
Yeah.
the that looks like the pose that's on the kiss cards
Okay. Now that would be something. But
on the wrapper of the kiss cards.
yeah.
It's the same these things, but let's see. And kind of waiting on Tommy to get back. He's back. I have this, and sorry, AJ, it is suffocating.
Oh.
Boo!
It's it's the Alive 2 45th anniversary limited edition with the red and blue swirl vinyl, and it's
The only thing
sealed.
I don't like about that is they've Alive 2 is in blue on that.
Yeah.
That
Well,
It
is
one
throws
nice.
me
thing
off every time I see it.
I'll show you what I don't like about it, and I don't know if you can notice it, but it's a thing that a lot of people have a problem with when it comes to the quality of some of the reissues. Look at look at Gene. This is original. So look at Gene
Mm-hmm.
in this.
Uh-huh,
Now,
uh-huh,
I don't know
uh-huh.
how good it'll come through.
It's
But look at
perfect.
the detail and stuff. Now look at it in this.
Oh yeah.
It's darker. It's
Dark.
not as clear. It's like you don't see that blue aura behind him. It's just like all black. And it's just
Yeah.
like all of it. It's just not as good. It's not as clear. It's a lot darker.
And it's got
And
a barcode on it.
yeah, it's got a barcode. And I love that I kind of like that they did it the Alive in blue to kind of be like, hey, this is different. It's a different, but it does kind of throw the whole aesthetic off. Like when you look at it beside a classic, it's just like red is just so badass all the way through it. And
And I
that's my
hate the
favorite.
color red, but that's what I
Yeah.
know. So
And
when it came out and it was blue.
that's my favorite version of the logo with the red going to purple, going to blue with the
Oh
orange
yeah.
around it. I love that. I
Yeah.
use that a lot in my videos. So I have that. I have the 8 tracks. These are
Beautiful.
double 8 tracks. Um, basically one and two. One is a side. This is the first two sides. The second two sides, volume 1 and 2. And I have the original Casablanca box that come in. It says a special 2 tape set, and it has a special insert that goes in the back that shows all the songs because you wouldn't
Nice.
have been able to see the songs that was on the first tape because it's stacked up on top of the other one. So I
Is,
have that.
isn't there like a thing where you can send in to get the tattoos and all that?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, you'd have to send in like $5 or something like that to get that stuff.
Making me pay
Um,
extra.
That's shitty.
I have I have the the Tyvek jacket
Oh
that's
my
from
god,
this era
that would have ripped instantly on my fat
as
ass.
well.
I would have tore that fucking thing up. First rainy day,
Oh
it would
yeah, I
have
mean,
just been ripped to
I was a
shreds.
pudgy. You know, my mom bought shop for me in the husky section in Sears.
Same.
So so my armpits here on my original, I have it somewhere in the house. I said that in my video, but my armpits here were tore out, and
From all the sweat.
mine is a different version. I need to find it because when it comes down here to the arm, the wrists, mine was a blue fabric. And to get them
Huh.
around my fat, chubby arms, my mom had to cut them
Oh
and
no.
slice them so I could get my hand through. Otherwise, I could get my hand through that. Look at that.
Oh my god.
Like
What is that?
I barely get two fingers in that now.
What is it made of?
Oh.
It looks like it's
It's
made of
Ew.
it's made of Tyvek. This
it,
like
what
the
it looks like crepe
Look,
paper.
it
no,
looks like a trash bag.
it's made of Tyvek. Let me open it up where you can see the inside of it.
I
Put it
mean, I
on,
don't
Brent.
know. It's like
Put it
plastic.
on.
It's like a plastic. Is
Put
it
it
like
on. Put it
Put it
on.
on.
No, it's made of like you know the stuff that painters wear. It's like
Oh, okay.
it's like that type of material.
Okay. 'Cause I'm like, what
I
the?
dare, but this is the kind of material that the wristbands was made. The wristbands was made out of that blue
Yeah,
type stretchy fabric.
that's
Um,
weird.
yeah, this is a small.
I don't think I
You
ever
can
had a
fit in
small
that.
ever in my life.
This wasn't my original, no, and I think mine was probably a large. I've got mine somewhere. I think it's up in the attic.
I was born large. I don't think I ever had a small
So
ever in
so
my life.
that's the front destroyer puzzle.
Yeah, hell of
Um,
a shit.
came out during this time, 77. And the let's see, and this came out during the same time, the Kiss on Tour game
I
with
remember seeing that at a flea market one time, and I didn't get it when I was
with
like
the
12.
with the playing board
Yeah,
that puts together like a puzzle.
they
We
went
need to
all
do
out,
a
didn't
video.
they?
We need to do a video one day where we play this game via Zoom. I can move your pieces for you. I'll move your pieces for you guys.
I'll
Hey,
move.
hey,
I'll move your pieces.
I'll
Hey,
move
hands
your
off my pieces.
pieces.
Not that there's
It would
anything
be
wrong with that.
it would be so yeah, not that there's anything wrong with that. It'd be so fun for us to play this. Because I did a video where I basically played with myself.
What?
Um, and I beat myself.
No, you shouldn't.
Oh,
You shouldn't tape that.
that's staying in. That's the intro.
That's the promo for the.
Yeah.
Complete mint Donruss Series 1 cards.
Nice.
Complete set. And the Donruss cards hold so many memories for me going up to the little general that was in front of my house, going in, taking my money that I had gotten collecting bottles around the neighborhood, uh, turning them in, getting some money, and I'd go see if there was a Kiss magazine I wanted, and I would get me a slushie. I had so many of those stinking cups that God are so expensive now.
Oh,
But we would trade cups and we would get cards and we'd go sit out on the curb beside the dumpster and look at open cards up and chew our gum and trade Kiss cards.
oh
And
man.
like I said in my very last video,
Yep.
they still smell. That's why I keep them in this. I don't put them in a thing, so a sleeve thing because they can't get their corners bent in here and they keep that smell. I keep that very tightly closed because that smell just reminds me. It takes me back to being a kid. It reminds me of that. And
I forgot. I do have mine aren't in a
oh
thing though.
yeah, yeah,
Well, now I got to smell them though.
yeah, yeah. Put one out and smell it.
Sniff it. Smell the glove.
Little cardboard, little musty. Maybe every once if you get a good one where you could like even get a little whiff of the gum too, would be really good.
Oh yeah. Um,
Old
and
gum.
I showed this in one of my videos. I think the one where I show off all of them. I can always tell the one that was right up against the gum. Let me see if I can find one.
It's usually a
Oh,
stain, right?
stain.
Yep.
Yeah, it has like a residue.
Hmm.
I gotta find one.
So
Okay, here you go. This might be hard to see, but you're gonna be looking like right in the area of the middle of the card around Paul's
Oh,
guitar.
yep. See
hmm
it.
See
Oh
that
yeah.
right there in the
Yep.
reflection?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Grody.
yep, that's that. And you rub your hand over it, you can feel it. It's the residue of the gum.
Ew.
So let's see. And the last thing I'll show is since we talked about it, it's this.
Oh,
Oh man.
It's it's big. It's so big. Um, you see the double platinum solo album inspirational photos. And it says World Tour 77 and 78.
God,
So
I love that thing. I gotta get one.
So there's no like words in there, just pictures.
yeah, there's words.
Oh, they do have words. Okay.
Yeah, that has words
Eh.
in it.
Take the words
Um,
out. Just give us more pictures.
I was wondering when
I
I was
love that
when I
jumping
showed it, I'm
shot.
like, did they not have any like bios or nothing on there? But I mean, that is awesome.
Here we go,
you
Paul.
get you get to right here, and it's
There you
got
go.
like writing in the middle
Oh,
of it.
okay. All right.
Yeah, and it basically just says it's
Nice.
has pictures around it, and
Hmm.
then you have Peter's pictures and my
Yep.
Nice.
my signed. I used to stare at his drum set. I used to sit and just look at all of his how it was all set up. And then one of my favorite pictures of a Kiss member ever.
Oh
That
yeah.
that picture is just
Love
so
that.
iconic, just
Yeah.
so
He
larger than
just
life.
he looks so stoned.
Yeah. And then Paul, and then Ace and Peter. And I noticed that I said in my last video, there's a lot of these smaller pictures are actually from like Rock and Roll Over or Destroyer because they've got the old costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that
And
picture of Ace too.
yeah. And
That's
then you
cool.
have down here, and then down here at the bottom, it says Alive 2 there. So
So that's from a concert.
this would have been purchased from a concert, and the ones that was purchased from the mail in would it says Alive 2 double platinum. It has them there beside each other. And then the back shot from Japan.
I always loved
Yeah.
that too.
That's so
That was always so
sick.
cool.
Yeah.
Those and them on the motorcycles. Those are always like my two
Hmm.
favorites for some reason as a kid. I'm like,
And the
that's
only
so cool.
thing that's really bad about this one, I mean, I got a pretty good deal on it if I remember correctly, is there's a little fold here on the very front,
Yeah.
That
and
ain't nothing.
and and somebody hole punched right here in the top corner all the
Those are
way
battle
through. Like
scars.
it's all the way
Yeah.
through. But other than that, I mean, it's still intact, and it's not. I've seen them in much worse shape than this.
I've
So
bid on some that are worse than that, and I still don't have one. I'm just afraid
Yeah.
if I get that one, then I'm gonna want all of them.
yeah,
But I really want that one. That's
I
my
would like.
favorite one.
The only other one that I would like to have other than this one that is not like non-makeup or makeup is probably I would like to have the on tour, the original
Yeah.
one that's got the crowd on the front of it, like the crowd shot. I'd like to have that. I look for it every once in a while. Every once in a while I'll get a wild hair and I'll be like, hey, let's look at tour books for a little bit. And then I get on there and I start seeing the prices, and I'm like, okay, I remember why I quit looking at tour books.
That's like I
Yeah.
saw a
But
guy. What was it? It was like maybe last summer, maybe early fall. There was a guy on Kiss My Collectibles on the group that found a Revenge at a flea market for like $30.
yeah,
And you go on eBay and they're like 300. That one's hard to get.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, man,
What makes me sick? What literally makes me sick to my stomach is when you see these posts online and these people are saying, "Hey, check this out. It's a Kiss Alive 2 misprint that I got from a estate sale for
for
20 bucks."
$12.
For
Yeah.
20 bucks
Yeah.
or whatever. And
Yeah.
I'm like, You can kiss my butt. I hope to be that lucky someday.
Yeah. I
See, I
just, yeah,
can't.
I wish I would lived in a bigger city because, like, it seems like that's always where people find the good stuff. It's never
Yeah,
in the boonies where I live.
yeah.
I can't get it.
There's not that much Kiss stuff around.
I'm too much of a cheapskate, man. All my anything that I got that's vintage was from our friends and or my wife. I don't think I've ever bought anything. I bought some newer stuff, but I go to the store and I see $7 for a box of cereal. I'm like, yeah, I'm not buying any cereal, so I'm definitely not going to buy a tour book or anything.
Amigo dolls.
Yeah.
There you
There,
go.
there's Peter, signed by Peter, Ace, Gene, Paul, and a duplicate Paul. So I've got two Pauls on the end there. So I
Nice.
got a
If you ever
duplicate.
do a giveaway for that second poll, I'm in on that one.
I probably will eventually give it away because I mean I got it because I bought them and I bought the four of them uh in a like a lot off Facebook Marketplace, and I had started collecting them individually before, and the two that were easiest to find were Gene and Paul. Ace and
Yeah.
Peter were harder to find, and I heard that they actually had produced. The reason why Ace and Peter are harder to find is because they produced less Ace and Peter dolls than they did Gene and Paul dolls.
That
Like,
makes sense.
Even
um,
though Ace was probably the most popular at the time.
yeah, I think Ace is probably the hardest doll to find. It's because his numbers was lower. You can go on eBay at any given time and find a Gene or a Paul,
Hmm.
and
I
um,
look at them all
but
the time and I'm just like,
but 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 Peter and Ace, they're a little harder to find.
Who won the Gene? Who was the guy?
The person's name was Shutterbugger.
That's it.
They
Yeah.
lived they
shut
lived
up,
like
bugger.
I think they lived in Ohio.
Okay.
But yeah, he's gone. He's been shipped out. I haven't heard from them if they've got it yet or not. I told them to let me know once they received it.
Trivia.
Um, Trivia, how many different locations was Kiss Alive 2 recorded at? How many different locations? Live and
Studio.
studio. Name the locations if you can. But
Just the
we'll take
number will suffice.
we'll take a number. And we actually mentioned that in the video earlier. So if you're paying
Grant
attention,
mentioned that.
yeah, if you're paying attention, that's what I've tried to start doing is I've tried to start hiding the answer to the trivia question in the video because
Ooh.
it's like
Where's
Because if they
Waldo?
watch the whole thing, then they'll know.
mhm,
Yeah.
if they don't know already.
Next month, double platinum.
I'm excited about Double Platinum. There's a lot
I
to
am
talk
too.
about when it comes to that album. Even
I
though it's
love listening to
songs,
double platinum.
I do too. When I want to hear a fresh take on the songs every once in a while, I put on Double Platinum because Sean Delaney did so much work on that album. It wasn't just re-recording Strutter and then putting all the songs back on it. He made some very interesting choices on some of
Hmm.
them. So I love, and the packaging itself is just so
Yeah.
iconic.
Me as usual, the first time I heard that, I didn't notice anything different.
Yeah.
I didn't either when I first listened to it. And then I mean
I'm
now
like,
it's like
now,
now when
like,
I put it
oh
on, I'm
shit,
like, oh
yeah.
shit, that's way different.
I mean, it was
Hmm.
probably first time I heard it was probably like 35 years ago. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Being versed in the catalog now as you are and you go and listen to Double Platinum now, you
yeah,
like you know the changes. You're like,
yeah.
whoa.
What happened there? Yeah, like, oh, that's
Like,
wow.
yeah.
Well,
The
Like a new.
and
you know,
also now if they play a double platinum version on the radio, if you're listening to actual regular radio, you're like, ah, that's from double platinum.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, I actually heard the double platinum version of Calling Dr. Love
Hmm.
because you know it's Calling Dr. Love because at that intro, the fade in, it's like Calling Dr. Love, Dr. Love, and then yeah, yeah. Which, like I said, we'll talk about
Yep.
the choices, good or bad,
yeah.
in
And
next month's
I'm
video.
gonna do what I said when we talked about rock and roll over. I'm gonna pair them side by side and decide which version I like better. I think I
Hmm.
know, but I'm gonna do a comparison.
Hmm.
Uh, Merch, links in the description. Critical Kiss Army shirt. Get the original OG logo. Brant has that shirt, but he's shied away from wearing the merch. He's album conscientious. Conscientious.
Well, I was looking for my Live 2 and I couldn't
I
find it.
love that shirt.
So I was like, well, I'll just go with, because I think I got this one and a Live 2 whenever I bought a
Yeah.
Live 2. Because I
When
love this shirt.
every time I go on Kiss Online and go to the shop, because that's really the only reason why I go to that website,
Mm-hmm.
I almost buy that shirt every single time. I love
It's
that
nice.
one.
Nice. It's
So
good
cool.
material. Good
It looks like
material.
the
and it's-
sleeping bag to me.
Yeah, and it's been through a few washes and it's holding up very well.
Kiss Online does really good work on the shirt quality.
Mm.
Because there's a lot of like sometimes T Public, not our shirts, of course, they're perfect. This has been washed after every episode, but and it's actually better now than when I first got it. Instagram Critical Kiss 1, Facebook Critical Kiss.
I'm Brant
So-
from In My Head channel on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and you can come there and watch some videos. I appreciate it.
You can come
That was very sexy the way you said that,
You can
Brant.
come there and watch videos.
This is a very sexual
That was very
show.
I
sexy,
appreciate it.
So if you want
Wait till we get to Unmasked, which was basically my coming. We get
What?
to Unmasked was my coming of age album. I've got all kinds of stories about Unmasked.
So come visit my page if you dare. Or what's that
Click.
called? OnlyFans. Brant's only. How about your OnlyFans channel, Brant? Tell everyone about that one.
Cock Blaster 2000, man.
That's right. Thunderballs 25.
Paul Stanley's bitch.
Paul Stanley's little
Oh.
cuck.
That's Paul Stanley's cut.
I'll show you a star.
I'm sitting on
Wow,
my
we're-
star. I'm sitting on my
we're
star
good.
right now.
I love when we go off the rails like this.
Yeah. Good.
All right. Well, what were you
Makes
saying?
us feel alive.
We got two.
Live 2.
And you know me, AJ. So it's underscore AJR Zetro 1975 on Instagram. Oh, and AJ's Happy Fun Time channel. I'll be doing some more stuff there eventually, but I
Yeah,
put bits and pieces here and there. But
man, we're coming around to your good time, AJ, on Happy Fun Time. Coming around when we get through summer, we'll be hitting that fall. Halloween.
Can't get here fast enough. I'm sweating my ass off already, and it's not even hot yet.
And I'm Tommy at Clairvoyant Audio Files on YouTube and Instagram, and that's it. So
Wait.
until next time, where we will be talking about Kiss's technically their first compilation, although they'd done originals 2 in Japan, but compilation wise, possibly the best compilation ever put together. Maybe in my opinion. I do like Killers, but Double Platinum is badass. And I also like Smashes, but Double Platinum I think is.
You like all of them.
I like it all. You know what? It's Kiss and it's fun. Of course I like it. This was Critical Kiss, 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 Kiss.